Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and this is the birth chart for Beyonce, and her birth time was supposedly just released, so this is going to be an updated version. And if you're interested in astrology readings like this one, I'm offering readings right now for $50 via phone or video call. So contact me if you're interested in that. It's a really good deal right now. So let's take a look here. Beyonce is a 29-degree Aries rising, Sun in Virgo, and a Moon conjunct Uranus in Scorpio. And I want to start with Pluto, but before I do that, I just want to point out that in this chart here, she has this Moon Uranus conjunction in her 7th house, the house of relationships, and we know that she's been with Jay-Z for a long time, and Jay-Z is also a Uranus Moon conjunction in Libra, and here we see this same conjunction in the 7th house that we could associate with Libra, and he also has his sun in a almost exact sextile 60-degree angle with that Uranus as well. So clearly she's going to be with, you can see here, she's going to be with somebody who does have aspects to Uranus, is very different, maybe a genius type person. Someone, and this could be someone around business and making money. We see that with the Scorpio there, or involved with the occult. So there's a lot of things we don't know about Jay-Z. So very much makes sense and very interesting there. So her Pluto is in the 6th house, and that's where she's coming from, and we can see it's with Venus. She also has Jupiter there, and in this chart, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, it's a whole stellium there in the 6th. And it's they're all the planets are in Libra. So she's coming from this place of being a organizer, being maybe very meticulous, being someone who pays attention to detail. But specifically from what I know about her is that she would be a workhorse. And from what I know about her, she's a very hard worker, and she's also very attractive. So we also see that. But more specifically here with this Venus, maybe a very hard worker and someone who is chasing money, Venus, someone who is interested in relationships, would have good fortune around relationships. We see Jupiter there, chasing relationships, networking when it comes to work. We see Saturn there, and also this Mercury in the 6. It's not so much that she just might be someone who is chasing money, but all these things really come together for someone who cannot stop the activity. And it's not so much, I don't want to say that she can't sit still or that she can't stop moving, but this could be someone that finds himself in life very busy, possibly because she's getting a lot of deals, she's getting a lot of attention, she's getting a lot of success. And as we go a little bit longer here or farther here, we'll see how that plays out. So that's where she's coming from, coming into life with all of this activity there in the 6th house. The South Node in the 10th, also coming into life with the South Node at 0 degrees there between Capricorn and Aquarius in the 10th. So this is someone who comes in life perhaps with status already. You could say fated to find this position in life, or her position in life early. And it's at 0 degrees, and sometimes when you see planets you see the node at 0 degrees, it's a Gemini or a very mercurial indicator, because we're really in between two signs, and Gemini is the dual sign. So you might look at this and say, talk about all these things about being busy and not being able to stop. Uh, where else do we see that? And we see it here with that south node at 0 degrees. Because someone might say, well, she has no Gemini. And while that's true, she has no planets in Gemini, this south node is at that 0 degree point in a angular house, the 10th house. So there's that. All of that is where she's coming from when we look at this from an evolutionary astrology standpoint. Where is she headed? Well, we look at the polarity of Pluto and the North Node. And I'll start here with the North Node. It's in Leo. We could say it's in Leo. As I said, the South Node we could say is also at the 0 degree, which would be Aquarius, which is also Mercury. Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. But this North Node in Leo, and it is with Mars. So she's a performer. That's where she's headed. And Mars is also, we could also consider that a sex symbol. It's very forthright. It's very forward moving. And this really shows that she's living a life, in some ways, a fruition type life. And what areas of life would she be living a fruition type life in? Well, performing for sure. We see the Leo. We see the Mars, where the success in business, because what she does in a sense is a business, and it's in the 4th house. And she has we see what would be considered or what would be looked upon as a successful family with children, long-term marriage. We see all of that there in a fruition state in this life. And the reason why that's important, because you might look at this Pluto, where she's coming from, and see all of these planets in the 6th. It could be, somebody who may feel more stuck in life in the past. But see, in her chart, this is used with a chart like this. All of this activity here in the 6th would be used to move her forward, to, you could say, to build a family. And a lot of people don't realize this. When you see successful, maybe not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, you see successful people. Yes, it's true, they're in the right place at the right time, they meet the right people, etc. But they often have this inclination to be busy and work all the time. And in this case, you may see that there in a positive light, the 6th house in a positive light, because sometimes the 6th house can be considered, the health, or the house of health or bad health. So she keeps herself busy, working towards her goals. We see that there, and that's where you see the success in the job and the family. And then we had that polarity there, which also we can look to the polarity. There's no planets there, but the polarity is in, here it is in the 12th. And you can see the 12th and the North Node there in the 4th kind of goes together very well, because the 12th is in Aries, signs in Aries. So we see that Mars element there, and also the performing part in the 12th. Pisces, the 12th is often where we see actors and actresses, singers. So she can see there she's really leaned into making a business out of singing and performing, and that goes very nicely with the North Node. So very consistent there. And then we can fill everything in, and we see the Sun in Virgo works well with where that Pluto was in the 5th. Why is she doing all this? Again, for the love of the creativity, the creative aspect of it. You see that Sun in the 5th, a very hard worker in being creative, because creativity, when you're making a business out of creativity, it can be very hard work. And then we see later in life the children come into play, the Sun in the 5th. So, now she might be working to provide or to set an example for her children. can see the moon there in Scorpio with Uranus there in the 7th. Well, some more motivating more motivating factors here with this moon in that late degree of Scorpio with Uranus. This is a person who is social. She likes to socialize with people. She's emotionally invested in perhaps relating to her fans with the moon in the 7th house. See the Venus here, and the Venus and the Jupiter there are conjunct in the 6th house. So we can see where I spoke of, having that good fortune around work. Like her work, some people work very hard and it's not very fulfilling. It's not very producing. Missing the word I'm thinking of here. I want to say fruitful. It's not very fruitful, but not the case for her with this Jupiter Venus. She meets the right people. Her network works well for her, and her work is very fruitful. So there's that. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. Again, $50 for a reading right now. Connect with me, and thanks for watching.